Hi there, Dave with Crandall Office, and today we're going to be going over how to assemble your remanufactured Steelcase version 2 leap chair from Crandall Office Furniture. We do recommend you watch this video in its entirety before attempting to assemble your chair to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. I do want to just take a quick second and say thank you very much from one of the owners of the company for choosing Crandall Office Furniture for your remanufactured Steelcase version 2 leap chair. It's our #1 best-selling chair. We've done a lot of work to really make this the best product we can, and we genuinely appreciate your business. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, let's get this box open. We'll get all the contents out onto the table so you can see what you can expect when your chair box arrives. So let's get started. Okay, so we do want to mention, make sure that you keep your box during your return window. We do offer free returns on all of our remanufactured V2 leap chairs, but we do require you to return it in the box that it arrived in. So make sure to grab and keep this box as well, but grab these boxes, set them aside in a safe place during your 30-day return window to make sure that you're able to return your chair if you need to. Okay, so let's go over everything you should expect to receive in your box after it arrives. The first is going to be the largest component, which is going to be the chair core with the back pre-installed. Secondly, we're going to have our seat pad. This is going to have all the mechanism components installed. We also have our gas cylinder, our seat glides here, our brand new casters in the bag. We have our assembly instructions and our chair base. I also want to mention that if you do get a chair with a top activated gas cylinder, we will be including the adjustment set screw wrench, which we'll be going over here in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is going to be to open the bag of casters here, and we're going to be installing these casters on the base of the chair. So let's get these out. Okay, so we're going to flip our base upside down to install the casters, and each caster is going to go into each leg, and all you're going to do is just push it in place till it snaps into place, and you're going to do that on all 5 legs. Okay, then we're going to take our base, we're going to flip it back over the way it should be, put the wheels on the ground so that the base is sitting on the ground. All right, so there's 2 different styles of activation methods for the leap chair. And so we've got either a side activated cylinder that's gonna activate your chair or a top activated cylinder. So let's take a look at the side activated cylinders first. We've got 2 different styles of side activated cylinder. And as you can see, this one has a little lever on the side that's gonna push sideways to activate the cylinder. So that's gonna be the style #1. Style #2 that you might find is going to be our new cone activated type cylinder, and that is going to have this cone which is omnidirectional. We won't need to line this up in any specific direction. It's going to activate regardless of what direction you push on this cone. And so those are the 2 side activated type of cylinders that you might see coming with your leap chair. We'll be going over how to install those here in just a minute. Next is going to be the top activated style cylinder, and as you can see, this is going to have a button on the top that's going to activate when you press down on the button. This is going to have a set screw that needs adjusting that we'll be going over again later in the video. We wanted to show you what this type of cylinder looks like. Quick note, we do want to recommend that you do not activate your cylinder by playing with the button before it's in the chair. We know it can be fun to press these buttons and extend the cylinder, but it will make your life more difficult when you're installing the cylinder. All right, so the next step we're gonna do is gonna be to take the cylinder that came with your chair, and we're gonna open that bag. So the cylinder comes out of the bag, and so we can see we've got a cylinder sleeve that came with this cylinder. Some of the cylinders are going to ship with a cylinder sleeve, others are not. If yours came with the cylinder sleeve, make sure to get that installed onto the can of the cylinder here before it goes into the base. So now that we have that installed, again, if your cylinder did not come with a cylinder sleeve, it's not required. You're not going to need to perform this step. Since I've got one, I've got it on here. Then let's go ahead and just drop that into the base of the chair so that it's sitting in the base. So as you can see here, we've got our side activated chair and we've got our lever style side activated cylinder installed in the base. So let's go over how to install this properly on the mechanism. So we're gonna need to make sure that this lever is pointing in whatever direction that we've got here. We need to take the mechanism And if you look down the hole here in the middle, you're gonna see a bar that's located on the side that's pointing towards the height adjustment lever. So we need to make sure that that bar is in alignment with that lever. And then we're gonna push down to seat the cylinder. And then we're going to pull the lever and make sure that it's working properly. Now we're gonna put weight on it, pull the lever, make sure that it goes down. So we wanna make sure that we're testing this cylinder before we put the seat on. Next, let's take a look at the cone activated style cylinder. So if you've got a side activated chair and your chair came with this cone activated cylinder, this is a side activated cylinder as we went over earlier. It's gonna be a little bit of a simpler install. So all we're gonna do is drop this into the base, and then we're gonna pick up the mechanism, and we don't need to worry about what direction this is going anymore. We're just gonna make sure that this goes onto the chair there. So again, we're going to put some pressure on there to make sure that the cylinder is fully seated. Pull the lever to make sure it comes up. Put weight on it, make sure it goes down and stays down. And pull it again, make sure it comes all the way back up. The cylinder is working properly. So if you received a top activated leap chair, what you're gonna see when you look down the hole in the middle of the mechanism is going to be a set screw. You're also gonna see that you received a cylinder that looks like this. It's gonna have a little button on the top that pushes down to activate the cylinder. We're gonna install it into the base the same way as we did the side activated. Just pop it in there. And again, similar to the cone activated cylinder, we're going to take the chair mechanism and just line it up and get that installed. Does not mean to be in any sort of specific location like the side activated lever style cylinder. We're just gonna put it on there. Next, we're gonna go about testing the cylinder and making adjustments to the set screw to make sure that the cylinder is working properly. We wanna make sure we go through all of these steps before installing the seat and moving forward to make sure that that cylinder is adjusted and working properly. So the first thing we're gonna do is just to pull the lever and see that it comes up, and then we're going to put weight on it, and you can see it goes down and stays down. That's what we're looking for. That's a properly adjusted cylinder. But if your chair is not working properly, let's go over how to adjust that set screw to make sure that it is. All right, so if you pull the lever on your chair and as you can see, nothing happens here, that means the cylinder set screw is too loose and we're going to need to turn it to the right to tighten it and extend that set screw down so that it's activating with the cylinder properly. So we're gonna take our Allen wrench that came with the chair and we're going to do small turns. We kind of recommend about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn at a time, and then keep going until you pull that lever and the cylinder starts to come up. Okay, so as you can see, I turned that to the right, now it's activating. I again want to put weight on the cylinder, put it down. I want to make sure that that cylinder stays down. It seems to be staying down. And again, I'm going to pull it one more time, make sure that it comes back up and is activating properly. This chair is adjusted properly. Okay, so now in the event that your chair cylinder is always being activated, and that means that this will go down without me pressing on the lever and will come back up without me pulling on the lever. That means that the cylinder set screw is too tight and we need to loosen it. So this time we're gonna take our Allen wrench and we're going to loosen it by turning to the left. And again, we're gonna go about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn at a time and then test again. So we can see, yep, it's still not working properly there. And then we're going to loosen it just a touch more. You can see now it is holding my weight. Now I'm gonna pull the lever, my weight on it, it's gonna go down. It's staying down, which is just what we want. We're gonna pull the lever again, make sure that it comes up and stays up. Do it one more time. And now we can see that our cylinder is adjusted properly. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is gonna be to install the seat glide so that the seat can go onto the chair. I do wanna mention one more time to double check to make sure that your cylinder is working properly. Now is the time to make any adjustments to your set screw or anything else before the seat is installed. So double check that your cylinder is installed and working properly before moving on to installing the seat glides. Okay, so let's get these seat glides installed. The first thing we're gonna do is open the bag and make sure that we get these chair glides in our hands here. And so we're gonna see that they're gonna be marked with an R and an L. And so they can only go on one way. And so this L is actually gonna be upside down when we're installing this, and it's going to go on the left side of the chair as if you were sitting in the chair. You can see I've got this L here, and it's gonna go on this side, which is the left side of the chair when you're sitting in the chair. You can also see that we've got these ridges here, and those are gonna line up with the ridges on this metal piece, this metal component that's supporting the back here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna slide it over those ridges, and we're gonna just slide it into place, and it's gonna line up right on this rail. We're gonna do the exact same thing on this other side here. So we're gonna line it up with the ridges, and then this plastic channel here is going to snap into place right onto the metal component. So I do want to mention really quick that these can, as you can see, they're not held in place by anything other than the friction of them being held on with that channel. These can, in the next step when we're installing the seat, have a tendency to loosen up and fall off sometimes. So if you are experiencing that, or if you want to just get ahead of it, what we can do is we can actually take just a little dab of Vaseline here. And what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit. You don't need a lot. I'm just gonna put it on this rail here. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna allow me to install this seat glide here. And it's gonna provide just a little bit of extra friction there so that it doesn't move around quite as much when we're installing the seat. So I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. This is not a necessary step. This is more of if you're having a tough time in the next step. I just wanted to go over it now while we're installing the seat glides. All right, now that we have the seat glides in place and installed, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the seat mechanism. Okay, and so we are going to take this seat. Actually, first thing I'm going to do here is gonna just be to take off this bubble wrap here. Just a little bit easier to get a hold of before that seat is installed. So I'm gonna take that off, we can set that aside. And so what I'm gonna do here is we've got two sides, we have a front and a back to the seat. You can see that the back is this open-ended side where these open channels lie. So you'd be able to see through, and those channels that you see here are gonna be what we line up with the seat glides. And so we're going to take this seat, we're going to line that up and slide it on into place. So once we have it slid on, we're going to depress the seat slide lever and we're going to lock it into place. We're then going to pull the seat side lever, test and make sure that this seat is properly being adjusted when we pull the seat depth lever and it's not sliding off. As you can see, we got this one installed properly, no problem. All right, so the last and the most fun step, let's get these last pieces of protective wrapping off of the chair, and we'll have ourselves our first inaugural sit in our brand new Remanufactured Steelcase version 2 Leap chair from Crandall Office Furniture. So let's give it a try. So I do want to take a quick second and just talk about our warranty and return policies. So all of our Steelcase V2 Leap chairs do come with a 12-year warranty. This warranty covers the entire chair for the full 12 years. So if you have any issues at all with your chair, please reach out to us at our website, crandalloffice.com, and we're going to get you taken care of. Also wanted to touch on the return policy. All of our remanufactured Steelcase Leap chairs come with a 30-day free return policy. That return window starts on the day that you receive your chair, not the day that you placed your order. So you have 30 days to really test out your chair and make sure that it's right for you. In the event that it's not right for you and you want to start a return, head over to crandalloffice.com to start a return. We do require that you return your chair in the original box that it arrived in. So make sure you do not get rid of that box during that 30-day return window in case you do need to return that chair. The last thing we want to mention is to make sure that you take the time to really adjust this chair to fit you. We do have a separate video and we have a link in the description below for how to adjust this chair, and there's a ton of adjustments on the Leap chair. So really take some time to really play with the different adjustments, make sure it really fits you. We do want to make a special note that it can take a couple of weeks even for you to adjust to your new chair and to find the settings that are right for you. So we do encourage everybody to take their full return window to really play with the chair, make sure that they're adjusting properly to it, and to sitting in an ergonomic chair if they weren't previously. Those are all really important. Make sure to check out that link to learn how to adjust your chair below. So thank you again for choosing Crandall Office Furniture for your new chair. We genuinely appreciate your business. If you found this video helpful, please click the like and subscribe buttons below. It really helps us out. And again, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us at our website, crandalloffice.com, our Facebook page, or anywhere else you can reach us. We're always here to help. So thanks again for watching and your business, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so first things first, let's get this opened up and unboxed. Okay. Assemble your Steelcase version to your remanufactured. That's probably good to include. Right? That we stand by our warranty and make sure to be what it needs to be for you. So let me see. Last thing we want to mention, I'll just say it like that. Yeah. Okay. It can take a couple weeks for you to adjust to a new chair. Was there a good cut point there or no? Okay.